During the budget hearing, I took commissioners to task because they wrote the sheriff basically a blank check for $500,000 for him to pass around to his supporters in the sheriff's department. Don't mistake that I don't believe that law enforcement is underpaid and needs a raise, but to give it to this incompetent sheriff is a whole different matter. To drive the point home, I pointed out that the same way that they approved the preliminary budget, a former McLennan County Sheriff's Office jail lieutenant, not a lowly jailer or sergeant, but a lieutenant, was indicted by the grand jury. You see, the sheriff knew, or should have known, because months before she was promoted to the level of lieutenant, she was recorded violating the statutory rights of a tax-paying citizen. That recording was made public, and he knew, or should have known, that she had little regard for what the law required, but he promoted her anyway. So even though last budget year the sheriff convinced the commissioner's court that he needed the funding for the lieutenant slot in the jail, as soon as the slot was vacant, he transferred it into the patrol division, where he rewarded one of his favorite pet deputies. You might remember this pet deputy. He elevated him to the level of lieutenant. His name came up during the election. That's right, this is the guy who made a laughingstock of all McLennan County law enforcement deputies among law enforcement in McLennan County. This traces back to an internal investigation done by the sheriff's office, which revealed that he had destroyed government documents relating to the separation of an employee. Okay, due in small part to some creative Public Information Act requests, but mostly because Waco Police Department wanted the information out there. In response to the Public Information Act request, a video came up where this guy lied to a Waco police officer about a near-fatal accident. No big surprise, just a continuation of his standard operating procedure. But this is a guy that Parnell McNamara believes needs to be promoted. That's what you get with Parnell McNamara. Okay, I get it. The cheerleaders are going to say I've just got an axe to grind. But we didn't even go into Parnell's first cousin, once removed, who was promoted to a supervisory position, got 3 days off for falsifying a cell check log, when the people over at Jack Harwell facility that barely make much more than minimum wage, yeah, Parnell put them in jail for doing the same thing. Yep, this is what you got for your sheriff.